Let me, hold on, gotta put the headphones on, get on here for y'all. What it do? You know who it is, Mr. Good morning? It's morning for me right now. Anyways, we back, baby. You know the vibes. Every week you get to see the baby because we back, baby. One time for the one time. Y'all give it up. We back in this thing. One time, we back. It's the week 3 wrap up. This is emotional. Because while I got 2 wins this week, right? I definitely got 2 wins this week. Y'all give it up for 2 wins this week. Appreciate you. None of them were in my own league. That makes me so sad. But that's okay. Because we 2-1 on 2 of them. We 1-2 on 1 of them. Let's talk about these. Hold on real fast. That's better. Can't have y'all seen that side stuff over there. Probably, whatever. I noticed things randomly, and I'm, still a work in progress. The whole little studio setup or whatever the case may be. Y'all see, I got a desk. Yeah, shout it. With my little hat on it. I'm trying to get a little decoration going on in this thing. You know what I'm saying? But that first segment of the day, y'all know I told y'all I was going to do segments this week. Let's talk about who came to play this week. That's what I'm going to call it. These boys came to play. And you never know who it's going to be. You have your guesses, but we have the answers. So I'm going to tell you right now. And then shout out to me. I figured out how to pull it up on the Sleeper app on the thing right here. So I'm already set up. So we're going to slide right on through this one time. Y'all give it up for progress. Appreciate you. All right. Raise your hand if you had Jauan Jennings anywhere. It's Jauan Jennings this week, ladies and gentlemen. Last week it was Alvin Kamara, who was the number 1 player that came to play. This week it is Jauan Jennings. He got 46 fantasy points in that league. He also got 46 fantasy points in that league. He got 36 fantasy points in this league because the points per reception is lower. I keep saying that just in case people are wondering why the scoring is different, because you never know when people are joining the channel. By the way, tell your friends, tell them to like, subscribe, do all the stuff, by the way. But yeah, Jauan Jennings, ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Jauan Jennings. Jauan Jennings is the player of the fantasy week, if you will. We'll call him that. Yeah, but that boy came to play. 46.5 fantasy points at the expense of Brandon Ayuk, which I'm going to talk about because while I ended up scoring respectable and my score did look good in the league that I lost in, man, I could have used some points out of Brandon Ayuk. But that's not for right now. That's for later. Saquon. I'm looking at the... I guess I can put up the list right now. So I put up this list. Bam. 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 All right. So we'll start with the old OG special. Every list starts with Jauan Jennings, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're going to keep on clapping it up for Jauan Jennings because every list starts with Jauan Jennings, 46.5 fantasy points. That is 11. My math is bad. Almost 13 points more than the second place person, which is Saquon Barkley. Kyron Williams. Appreciate you. Josh Allen. There go Josh Allen doing number 1 quarterback in fantasy stuff. Y'all know Josh Allen ain't got no receivers, right? He's no offense over there. They're going to have to run the ball. So, there go Josh Allen. Anyways, Derrick Henry. That Todd Monken offense, I knew what it was. I just want to put that out. Like, that boy Derrick Henry he's going to have weeks like this, but he's also going to have weeks like the opposite of this. So, like, it's a roller coaster. You know who's really... Never mind it. It's not that segment. That's the Olive Garden League. In the Savvy League, did I mention that every list starts with Jauan Jennings? That boy was a monster this week. Anyways, and then there's Josh Allen again, doing Josh Allen stuff. Derrick Henry, Saquon, and Kyron Williams. So the list they all look pretty similar. They're just jumbled up different because of how the scoring system works. Except Juwan Jennings is at the top of every list. I'm just like, that boy had a monster week. Shout out to you if you started Juwan Jennings this week. Clap it up for yourself. Clap it up for yourself if you started Juwan Jennings. Now stop playing. It took some guts to do that because you come off the bench for a team. Not come off the bench. Not come off the bench. I ain't gonna say if you come off the bench. If you're a wide receiver 3 for a team with a more so game manager style quarterback, because Brock Purdy don't run super often. He does when he has to, but he can. I'm not saying he can't. But is he known for that? No. So when you got Debo and you got Brandon Ayuk, you got Christian McCaffrey, and you got George Kittle, you could get lost in the shuffle for real. But like, for those of y'all that have been paying attention and took that leap and started that boy, don't forget to clap it up for yourself. We'll get back to that later. That's a whole nother segment. All right, so that's the top 5 for the Savvy League, and then now that sleeper app. Hey, did I mention that every list starts with Juwan Jennings this week? I hope I don't sound like a broken record, but when you have a good week, you have a good week, and the fantasy points will show. There go Josh Allen again. The scoring, metrics are a little bit different over here. He got 38 points. Saquon. I want to say this league's a little bit more friendly to quarterbacks. Even though the Cowboys didn't look good, Dak Prescott put up fantasy points, so he is number 4 on this list. And then Kyron Williams once again. So Kyron Williams, Saquon, Josh Allen, Juwan Jennings made every single list. Derrick Henry made 2 out of the 3 lists. I can probably slide down this list right here. On this list, Derrick Henry's number 9 because of 3 more quarterbacks. So it's friendly to quarterbacks over here. But yeah, them boys were good this week. Those are your come to play candidates for the week. Y'all, we like to clap over here. I'm just saying. We like to clap over here. So I have 3 main leagues. I have 3 main leagues that I manage. My league is the Savvy League. There is the old Olive Garden Special. OG Legends is actually what it's called. Shout out to Steve. And then there is the Let's Argue League. Shout out to Jay Play Holiday. Y'all will get that one day later on down the line. Just because I wanted to get it, but it took me a couple of seconds. I'm getting a little bit better with the buttons, people. I'm getting a little bit better with the buttons, but I still got to look down and see where it's at, because I know I want this thing to sound spectacular. But anyways, let's get back to the fun stuff. We will start talking about these matchups. I like to start with the old Dynasty Special because it takes the longest. So you saw the top 5 from that league. Saquon Barkley was in that. If you have been paying attention to the channel, you will know that I am a proud owner of Saquon Barkley. And that boy Juwan Jennings. I had to get my shares of him from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? He got picked up everywhere else. Also, in the other leagues, I'll talk about why I didn't get Juwan Jennings when I'm breaking those leagues down, because he definitely was on my radar. Anybody that plays for the 49ers is on my radar because their offense moves smooth because Kyle Shanahan. But, if you know, you know. But, so this week, shout out to that boy, Juwan Jennings, Saquon Barkley, Jamar Chase. They came to play. Y'all see Jamar Chase? Jamar Chase got dang on near 30 fantasy points, and he didn't even make the list. He was just off the list in all the leagues. Do I see Jamar Chase on here anywhere? Yep, there he is. Right there. Almost 24 in that league and almost 30 something. Almost 30 over here. Yeah, that boy came to play. Jamar Chase is back. He needed this game. We'll break it down. But that boy scored 170 fantasy points. I know it's more people, but you got to think about it. I got people like Anthony Richardson in my lineup. Anthony Richardson scored 6.83. Zamir White scored 3.4. Xavier Worthy scored 5. Nick Bosa only scored 3 this week. But when you had Saquon and Jamar and Juwan, Adam Thielen came through with a double-digit thing this week. All right, cool. 170.73 to 156.84. I went into Monday Night Football down by something more than 10. I think I had 140 going into Monday night. I went to lay down at 7:15 on Monday night, and I fell asleep. I was tired. I had a long travel day on Sunday because we always on go around here. And I woke up at like 10:05. My kid was in the shower, and the Bengals were losing to the Commanders, and my fantasy team was winning by like 3.1 points. So I woke up to that. That was pretty good. And then, it kept on going. So there you have it. Let's go ahead and put that thing up there on the screen. Bang. We'll talk about mine first because I am the winner. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing that. I can't see. My eyesight is getting worse because I am getting older, but that's okay. It comes with the territory. Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is not running. He is only throwing another day with 50% completion. He had no touchdowns. He had 2 interceptions. He only had 3 yards to carry. He only carried 8 times. Better days are ahead for Anthony Richardson, just not right now. Luckily for me, I had that boy Saquon. Thank you, Eagles, for bringing the Saints back down to earth. I needed the Saints to realize that they are not who we thought they were, even though I was on the bandwagon for a couple seconds, because that Clint Kubiak offense looks really good until it don't. Remember, it's Derek Carr. I'm not saying that Derek Carr's not an NFL quarterback, but especially with there's more solid quarterbacks now than there have been in quite some time in the league. So, Saquon, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversion, all 4 catches. Even though he only had 9 yards, that's still 4.9 fantasy points on catches. Zamir White, you got to go to the bench, my boy. 10 carries, 34 yards. That's 3.4 yards a carry. That's 3.4 fantasy points. I don't like it. I have running back 2s and offenses that are scoring more than you weekly. So those people will be in the lineup from now on. I love you, Zamir. You're still going to stay on the team. I'm not trading you. Don't ask me. Everybody in the league, public service announcement, not trading Zamir. Anyways, it'll get better. Jamar Chase, 6 catches, 118 and 2. Appreciate you. Y'all give it up for Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase needed a week like this, right? Because we were wondering because he pretty much didn't do camp, right? And so they came out and said he's not gonna do the contract thing. He played all right. Then he played a little bit better. Then he did this. So this is what we need. If I'm getting 30 fantasy points from Jamar Chase and Saquon every week, wait till Anthony Richardson come around. Wait till it's Xavier Worthy's turn to go off for 20 more fantasy points, because he only had 5 this week. But Xavier Worthy's getting touches. I can't, out of the people that I have on my team, I can't see sitting Xavier Worthy because he's getting touches. So, I'm no risk it, no biscuit, you know what I'm saying? So, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage right now. The best fantasy point scorer of the weekend across all your platforms, Mr. J1. Might have won you your fantasy week, Jennings. Y'all give it up for that boy. 175 yards and 3 touchdowns. We like those. Man, he probably won't do nothing close to that for the rest of the year, but if you 12 targets, 11 catches, if you getting anything, you can get half of that and you in my lineup, cuz in this league, it's 14 teams. If you're getting 6 targets, I'm probably going to start you. Kyle Pitts had 5 targets, which is good for the tight end because tight end is a wasteland right now. You want to talk about hot, steamy, on fire, burning trash? Look at the tight end position. But he got me 7.9 fantasy points and helped me get the victory this week. Adam Thielen, 5 targets, 3 catches, 40 yards, touchdown, got hurt. Lucky for me, 2 things happened this week. I picked up Andy Dalton off waivers, and I drafted Xavier Legette. So Adam Thielen's going to be hurt. Deontay Johnson's obviously the one. Thank you. Shout out to Deontay Johnson. Y'all give it up for Deontay Johnson. He came back to life. Deontay Johnson needed somebody who was a professional NFL quarterback. I'm not saying that Andy Dalton is better than Bryce Young. I am saying that competency matters. So we got to deal with that. And Andy Dalton is way more competent than Bryce Young currently. Ray McLeod had a little bit of an off week, but he's also getting targets and carries. That's why he was in the lineup this week. I didn't trust that Kansas City defense to be able to stop that Atlanta Falcons offense, but they, for the most part, did, and that's okay. Nick Bosa, quiet week this week. Tyrell Dotson. He had 5 tackles, a sack, a QB hit. That boy Nick Cross had 10 more tackles, but there were only 6 solos, so, and he had a pass defended. So, 170 points. On his side, real fast, Daniel Jones. Y'all sleep on Daniel Jones. Vernie. Y'all don't know who Vernie is, but I do. Vernie. They sleep on Daniel Jones. Does that make any sense to you? Make it make sense. Kyron Williams, we talked about him already. Ramondre had one of the worst. Ooh. We will say that the segment for people who didn't come to play, those are the ones you got to dig for, though. We'll call it wet the bed. Boom. Got that. Deontay Johnson, welcome back, sir. You deserve. We already clapped it up for you. Anyways, Gary Wilson had a nice week. 33 yards and a touchdown. George Pickens had a pedestrian week, but in 1 point PPR scoring, a pedestrian week can still get you double-digit fantasy points. Jake Ferguson, 11 targets, 6 catches, 95 yards. That's a nice week for tight ends because tight end is terrible right now. Cam Akers had a nice week filling in for Joe Mixon, but nothing else on that. Houston offense was clicking as they ran into the number 1 defense in fantasy. If you do it by defense, this league doesn't, but if you do, it's the Minnesota Vikings. Appreciate you. Let's not sleep. J.K. Dobbins had a down week. I have him in another league. I sat him. I did not trust him against that Steelers defense. I saw what they did to Bijan Robinson. Michael Parsons, you thought he would do better, but they just ran the ball. They just ran the ball at Michael Parsons. They used him in the RPO. They made him ineffective, and that's what people are doing to Dallas. But yeah, he wasn't super effective. T.J. Edwards, he only had 2 tackles. I don't know if he got hurt, but he normally has more tackles than that, or maybe they just rendered him ineffective. That boy Kyle Hamilton, always all over the field. That's what Kyle Hamilton do. 12 tackles, hit the quarterback 1 time. Cool, 10 fantasy points. As a defensive player, if you're getting 10 fantasy points, I want you in my lineup every week. So there's that. My opponent scored 156 points. Now, you got to think about it. 22 from Daniel Jones, 31 from Kyron, 26 from Deontay. You know what I'm saying? Like, he put together some stuff. He was sitting pretty good toward the end. And he was like, oh, I remember how far away I was, and I was 16 points. He was like, watch Jamar Chase score exactly 16 points, and I lose by 0.2. I was like, luckily he didn't give me that panic attack. He went off for a little bit more points than 16. But 170.73 to 156.84. We are 2-1 in the Dynasty Special. We put it together over there, or we have put it together a little bit over there. I don't have really points coming from my quarterback. So, like, Anthony Richardson had 1 good week. I scored less points that week. So, I'm just saying, like, it's still got room to grow over here. And I'm going to show y'all who I'm starting at the end of the video. I told you I picked up Andy Dalton. I'm not wasting no time with that. Anthony Richardson plays the Steelers this week. I'm not doing that to myself. I'm not finna do that to myself. Nope. I love Anthony Richardson. I'm rocking with him, but not this week. Because the Steelers defense is top 3. That is a really long breakdown. It's over now. And after this small little break, we will go into the breakdown for the other 2 leagues. Y'all stay right there. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, and it is time. We're not going to waste none of that to jump right into the old Olive Garden special. You see me in the window. Say hey to your boy. Appreciate you. Now, go fast. I think that I have something put together over here in this in the old OG special. I may have something put together. Shout out to you, Daniel, for starting Quentin Johnston, first of all. But it didn't matter because Amon-Ra came to play and Rasheed came to play and Sunday Night Drizzy came to play. These receivers are balling for your boy. And I had Kyron. Appreciate you. 132.38 to 103.14. Break it down now. Let's talk about it. Once again, I have Anthony Richardson. I'm going through the growing pains of Anthony Richardson. He's pretty much still a rookie. I mean, I know y'all don't want to think about it like that, but you might have to start thinking about it like that. I'm not saying that it don't suck. I'm not saying that he don't need to do better, because he does. I'm big on accountability in my regular life, so I'm all these football players accountable to. You getting paid millions of dollars. Do better. At the same time, that boy Young, it's going to get better. I know it's going to get better. Kyron Williams. Button didn't work for a second. I got nervous. Clap it up for Kyron Williams. Jordan Mason had a down week as compared to all the other weeks so far. However, he still got me double-digit fantasy points. Those are wide receiver, running back. So in this league, 1 full point PPR, Jordan Mason's a very, 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 very viable running back too, because he doesn't get the passing work that Christian McCaffrey gets. In the other league, he's a running back 1. We'll discuss it when we get over there. Amon-Ra Saint, go get it down, Brown. Appreciate you. You just doing what you do. 20 fantasy points, no big deal. Rashee Rice. Not very many things look well as far as Patrick Mahomes is concerned, as far as fantasy is concerned, but they still the best team on the planet. And somebody got to get fed this money. And right now it's Rashee Rice, and pretty much Rashee Rice only. So we like those 29 good ones over there. We still waiting for Sam Laporta. He got a low ankle sprain, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, he wasn't producing before that. So we need you to bring it around town, sir. No SpongeBob. Appreciate you. Oh, wait. Let me hit that. That's that Monday night Drizzy. I mean, that Sunday night Drizzy. They left him wide open on the busted coverage, but he still got to catch it. So appreciate that, Drake London. The Falcons are my team. I say this on a regular basis. I still think that there's another level up to go, because Kyle Pitts ain't getting no love. I ain't going to say no love. Very little love. He had the touchdown, but he was also wide open on the busted coverage when he caught his touchdown. That Texans defense was respectable. But Minnesota, boy. And kickers be kicking. Blake Groupie. Appreciate you. That's 132.38 fantasy points. That is a win. 2 of them in a row. I only lost week 1 over here because Amon-Ra St. Brown and Drake London did not come to play that week. And but they came to play these last 2 weeks, and I'm not losing. So averaging 130 fantasy points in the last 2 weeks. Those are great numbers for me because I sucked at points in this league for the last 2 years. Ramondre Stevenson, he got hit with the Ramondre Stevenson bug. I don't know what happened because usually you can run on the Jets a little bit, but Ramondre Stevenson, it was nothing going for that man. Also, Jalen Hurts was pedestrian against the Saints. That Saints defense is underrated. Write that down. I'm not a Saints fan. I pretty much hate every team in the NFC South that's not the Atlanta Falcons. You can ask anybody. I don't want none of them to win. Can they both lose at the same time if they're playing each other? All that. But that Saints defense, we talk about fantasy right now. Everybody's open to be liked or disliked in fantasy. That Saints defense is underrated. So you heard it here first. Jalen Hurts ran up against that. That Minnesota offense is also underrated. Aaron Jones, 25.8 fantasy points over here. The Ravens had a game plan to not let CeeDee Lamb beat them, and it worked. Because CeeDee Lamb didn't beat them, therefore the Cowboys didn't beat them, even though they almost did. Quentin Johnston is the only thing that is clicking in the offense as far as wide receivers go for the Chargers. You really want their running backs, but not against the Steelers, because you see what the Steelers did. Watch out for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another defense that's real. Defense is, that's my rant. I'm going to have a rant every week. My rant today is about defense. We'll get to that. Dallas Goedert, welcome to the tight end party. Who saw that one coming? Nobody, baby. Anyways, that Chiefs defense. I always have respect for the Chiefs defense. Old Spagneezy for Sheezy over there be putting it together. That's Steve Spagnuolo, just in case you guys were wondering. But yeah, the Chiefs have had a solid, at least top half of the league defense ever since Spags got over there. And that's against my Atlanta Falcons. If they played in 2 months, I don't know if it would go that well. Because I feel like I said, I feel like my offense in Atlanta got another level up to go. And kickers be kicking. Jake Moody got 5 fantasy points. Once again, that's 132.38 to 103.14. That boy 2-1, 2-game winning streak. I don't remember if I was 2-1 last year, but I'm 2-1 now, and I'm pretty much in the lead in the division. Another rant for another week is scoring systems as per fantasy and tiebreakers. That's another rant. Y'all write them down. I'm not going to forget. I even skipped over Devontae Adams. Like, that's how it was just regular over there. Even though the Raiders were moving the ball a little bit. The Raiders are decent. We just didn't expect Andy Dalton to do that. Also, this guy had Joe Burrow on the bench and Dak Prescott. That's unfortunate. Starting Dak Prescott, that would have been almost 30 more fantasy points. Almost 20 more fantasy points. It would have been more respectable. But either ways. So that is it for the old Olive Garden special. Let's go ahead and click on over to the It's me, baby. It's me. Where I lost. James. That boy James. I told y'all last week about the thing that I got going on where I wish luck to everybody except my opponent. It backfired. Not my fault though. James might have put something together over here. Like, let's talk about it real fast. Like, 134 to 92, both point zeros. Kyron Williams, Alvin Kamara, Amon-Ra St. Brown. We didn't even get to talk about Malik Neighbors. Dalton Kincaid came to the party. He also has Aaron Jones. And, but he got a lot going on. Let's throw that thing on up there. Bam. Jared Goff, I was running my mouth about Jared Goff. He ended up being right around his projection. Yeah, the passes to Amon-Ra St. Brown coming from somewhere, right? So, y'all hold on real fast. I'm actually right in the middle of filming. Bye. I love you.
I give up on our Tuesday.
I'll call you when I'm done.
Okay.
All right, bye. I might leave that in. She said I give up on our Tuesdays. I might leave that in. Anyways, yeah, Jared Goff was right around his projection. Kyron Williams, he had that. We talked about Kyron Williams. Alvin Kamara last week was Juwan Jennings. How Juwan Jennings this week? That was Alvin Kamara last week. And he came back to the party. I mean, obviously back down to earth from 40-something fantasy points, obviously. But it didn't matter because, James has Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown is back. Malik Neighbors. There's a reason Daniel Jones' fantasy points look decent. Dalton Kincaid. Thank you, Dalton Kincaid. There was a lot of people around the country depending on you, my friend. And you showed up. So appreciate that. Aaron Jones. 22.4 fantasy points. Shout out to Aaron Jones. We thought, I have Ty Chandler on my bench right now. We definitely thought that it was going to be more time Sherry over there. Aaron Jones has gone over there and snatched work. That's what he do. Respectable 5 points from the 49ers defense, even though they lost. The 49ers lost. And kickers be kicking. We on James' team, so it's Jake Bates. Your boy got Jake Bates, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff. And the Lions defense on the bench. He's a Lions fan. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah. On my side, even though I got 92 points, but it was looking bad. James was done minus Dalton Kincaid, so he already had 120 points. I was like, God, oh my boy, you ain't playing with me this week, is you, boy? But there are some highlights. That boy Sam Darnold. It's time for y'all to wake up about Minnesota. They're just here. There's 28 fantasy points from Sam Darnold. There's 22 fantasy points from Aaron Jones. What did Justin Jefferson do? Oh, he did what Justin Jefferson do. Okay, cool. What about Jalen Naylor? Got a touchdown in every game this season. So, all right, cool. And that Minnesota defense. Anyways, neither here nor there. Don't listen if you don't want to, but Minnesota's here. Go get you some shares. Breece Hall. That boy Breece Hall did Breece Hall stuff. That Patriots defense is usually respectable against everybody. So 15 points, I'll take that. I struggled with who to start between Jerome Ford and J.K. Dobbins. And Jerome Ford outscored J.K. Dobbins by 0.5 in this league. Neither of them had a great week, but 7.3 from Jerome Ford is, I expected him to score the most because they were going against the Giants. And that's what happened, even though it wasn't great. Brandon Ayuk made me want to throw up this week. Not really. No, not really. Juwan Jennings did what Juwan Jennings did, so it's someone has to suffer. George Kittle didn't play. I was expecting, Brock Purdy spread out a little bit. He did not. Speaking of suffering this week, only Amon-Ra St. Brown ate in that offense. J-Mo had 9 yards, a carry, and a catch. Sam Laporta had 35 yards and 2 catches or something crazy like that. But the Arizona Cardinals defense is also here. You heard it here first. Detroit is what we like to consider a high-powered offense. They scored 20 points against Arizona. So, yeah, they won the game because their defense is better and they shut down Kyler. But Arizona, saw what they did against the Rams last week. Not a fluke. Kyle Pitts, he was only projected 6, he got 5.2, so he was respectfully around his projection. Tight end is a wasteland. I keep showing y'all that dumpster. It is a dumpster fire at tight end this year. That's why we were thanking Dalton Kincaid, and he was playing against me this week, so there's that. Jordan Mason, he was projected to score a lot because he plays for the 49ers, but he did not score as much as he was projected. He still had a respectable day at the office. And I think I may have found me one with that Bills defense. 47-10. against Jacksonville on Monday Night Football. That Bills defense is here. I don't know why we thought because Josh Allen was not suffering even really. Like, he made one of them lists. We thought Josh Allen, because Josh Allen didn't have any weapons, that the defense didn't have any weapons, and they're just the Bills defense, no big deal. And KSB kicking, I know I got Youngway over there. But I ended up scoring 92 points. Like, it's what Sam Darnold, Breece Hall came through, the Bills defense came through. Like, all I needed. I had 4 people score double digits. He had 7. And he had a 30-point score. I guess I did too. But 2 more 20-point scores. I didn't have that. 134 to 92.0s. We are 1-2 over here. And I got to play Steve next week, who is undefeated. That's okay. We're doing good. So Steve and I are in both of these leagues together. I'm near the top in his league, and he's at the top in my league. So there's that. All right, we will take one more break, and then I will come back with the what I like to call duds. I'm just gonna pick them off the top of my brain and show y'all these lineups for next week, because I haven't been doing that. And then I will finish the video with my my rant of the week. I don't remember which one I said it was going to be, so whichever one comes into my head when I get to that point, I'll do that one. So we'll be right back to wrap this thing on up. All right, we back. Had to flash the baby on the screen real fast. Okay, it went away. Thought I was about to sneeze for a second. All right, let's talk about who did not come to play this week. So I'm just gonna go off the top of the dome right here. Jameson Williams, not a very good week. Ramondre Stevenson, not a very good week. Jalen Hurts, not a very good week. I'm going to slide through here and see if I can see some that were not very good. Anthony Richardson, not a very good week. C.J. Stroud, not a very good week. Ezekiel Elliott, not a very good week. Tyreek Hill, not a very good week. Rashid Shaheed, not a very good week. Mark Andrews, not a very good week. Sam Laporta, not a very good week. I'm still just sliding through. I already said Jalen Hurts. Calvin Ridley, not a good week. That Dallas defense, not a good week. Damn. I just didn't realize how not a good of a week that it was for that Dallas defense. Let's see here. Zay Flowers, not a very good week. Gabe Davis, the Jacksonville offense as a whole, not a very good season so far. So I'm not even going to pick them out. Like, they missing Evan Ingram. They need him bad. They need him bad. James Conner, the Lions defense against the run, number one in the league. Write that down. Don't start your running backs against Detroit. Appreciate you. There was wondering why I sat Rachaad White last week. Was it last week? The Lions played the Buccaneers? Yeah. That Lions run defense. Real problem. Michael Pittman, not a good fantasy week. Trey McBride, not a good fantasy week. I could do this all day. I'm just naming. I'm just going off the top of the dome right here. But just as well as you can have those uppers, you can have those downers. Y'all need to go get y'all some shares of that Buffalo offense, because Josh Allen is still Josh Allen, and he keeps showing y'all that every week, and y'all keep missing it. But no big deal. All right. We'll move on from that and jump into who's taking the field. Oh, that's my starting lineup. That's my starting lineup segment. It's called Who's Taking the Field. All right, cool. Let's start with who's taking the field. We will start with that dynasty lineup. Bam. I'm going to throw it up right over there so I can get the whole thing on the screen. Y'all see I'm starting Andy Dalton. Write that down. Andy Dalton starting this week. Appreciate you. Saquon, always. I told you Zamir White was going to the bench, and Ty Chandler is now in the lineup because I can't afford to have 3 points in my running back spot. I'll take 7. Jamar Chase is back. Xavier Worthy, as long as Hollywood Brown is out, which is for the whole season, Xavier Worthy's in my lineup. The opportunities will always be there. As long as Debo is out, as long as George Kittle is out, Juwan Jennings will be in my lineup as long as both of them are out. When one of them comes back, I might change my mind, or probably not after what he did this week. Kyle Pitts will always be in the lineup because I think that better days are ahead for him. With that new quarterback change and Andy Dalton being the quarterback now, I have a little bit more faith in Xavier Legette. So he is in the lineup for the week. Greg Dortch, because they're going to play the Commanders, and they won't have any problems moving against the Commanders like they did against Detroit. Like they did against Detroit. Nick Bosa, Tyrell Dodson, and Nick Cross are stuck in the lineup because they get points. So that is the dynasty lineup. I do not look at projections when I set dynasty lineups because I just want to score points. And so now we're 3 weeks in. I know who's scoring more than who's not scoring, and that's what I'm going off of over there. That is what I'm going off of. All right, we will switch that one down and put the we'll put both of these up at the same time because they both fit. Bam. We will start with the old Olive Garden special. As of right now, it'll be Anthony Richardson, but I can't promise you that I'm not trying to go grab something off waivers because it's a couple of them things out there. But I can't say who I got my eye on because, we play for money. Although waivers will have cleared by the time this hits the internet. Kyron Williams, staple in the lineup. Y'all see Devin Singletary, currently 3 games into the season. The Dallas Cowboys have the worst run defense in the league. I'm going to say it again because I know that's probably crazy for people to fathom. The Dallas Cowboys have the number 32 run defense in the league. So I think Devin Singletary needs to make an appearance in the lineup, and there he is. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Rashee Rice, staples. I'm not really too concerned about the Sam Laporta thing. It's not affecting me in a manner in which I need to be concerned. But when it does, I have some ideas and options ready. My struggle for this week in this league will be whether to start Jordan Mason against the Patriots or whether to start Drake London against the Saints. Right now I have Jordan Mason in there. By the time you see this, it could be Drake London. But as I'm looking at it currently in front of me, it's between those two. So if you see Drake London and I say Jordan Mason, or if you see Jordan Mason and I say Drake London, that's why, because I'm going back and forth. That Texans defense against the Jaguars is a great play this week. Because have you seen the Jaguars? No? Go watch them against the Bills on Monday. And kickers be kicking. Our defense is decent, but you can move on them. They do not give up touchdowns, though, at a super high rate. So, Blake Groupie, get your field goal on. On that other side, there is a potential that Jordan Love could come back this week. I don't know if I'm going to start him because Sam Darnold is top 2 in fantasy right now. I think I might have stole starting quarterback off of waivers. Like I said, we're 3 weeks in. Ain't nothing to think about at this point. Breece Hall, you see my team name. That says it all. Jordan Mason over here, it's less of a question to start because running backs are so blessed. Brandon Ayuk will always still be in the lineup. I know y'all see Cortland Sutton. What I saw from Bo Nix is double-digit targets for two times in a row. Or not 2 times in a row. 2 times in 3 games for Cortland Sutton. Bo Nix is the dink and dunk specialist right now. That's what he was in college. So if you're surprised, you shouldn't be. But once they get a little bit warmed up and start connecting, I'm trying to be ready for that. And so I think that it might not be pretty, but it's going to be effective because he's getting all the opportunities. So I'm rocking with Cortland Sutton right now. I may change my mind on that too. There's Kyle Pitts again. He's a stand. J.K. Dobbins. I saw what Bijan did. J.K. Dobbins is the only startable piece in Los Angeles right now for the Chargers. But, like, y'all know I got J-Mo on the bench. I got Takedale on the bench. Jordan Love's down here. Rashad White. I'm a little bit concerned about Rashad White. I'm a little bit concerned about Rashad White. But just a little. So, I'm a little bit concerned about Rashad White. I just wanted to say it again, just in case you were wondering. That Raiders defense against the Browns is a great play this week. Because have you seen the Browns? I don't know who looks worse, the Browns or the Jaguars. They played each other recently. It was crazy. Yeah, I think it's a good play. I had the Raiders on the bench when I played the Bills against the Jaguars. Now I'm playing the Raiders against the Browns. Greatness. And kickers be kicking. Our offense is still in the get comfortable mode. So y'all know I got Youngway down there. So we are hoping for success with that lineup that we have there. Hoping for the best, expecting the best. Because that's what we do, shouty. All right. Put all this down. Let me look y'all right in y'all face. It's time to get my rant on. The thing that I'm choosing to rant about today, ladies and gentlemen, is defenses. So y'all heard me go through that long list of players who had down weeks. And we just seem to think that the players are, well, I'm not going to say we just seem to think. The atmosphere, the vibe in the air says to me that we are just chalking it up to the players having a bad week and all this type of stuff. And I'm like, I'm sitting over here and I'm sliding through these fantasy rankings and, you know, trying to figure out who I want to put where and all that type of stuff. And I'm like, dang, these defenses are putting up some points. Like, I think we may be re-entering a time where defense may be making a small rise again. And I think that the fantasy community is not in appreciation of defenses because, well, I don't really know why, but I just think that we need to go ahead and adapt and adjust because it's not going to stop. Like, there's Max Crosby and Nick Bosa and Chase Young, and y'all not even talking about Chase Young. Like, that's one of the reasons that the Saints defense is underrated. They got a couple of pieces on that line. You know, Cam Jordan getting older. But anyways, it's not supposed to be a rant about a specific team. Like, give y'all defenses some love. Like, and there's enough of them out there to go around. Like, I see people in leagues with Jets defense and Vikings defense. What you need to be doing is trying to trade for stronger pieces if you got two of them. In my opinion, that should be the thought process. I'm not gonna tell you what you need to do. Like, you know, somebody told me I need to work on that. If it's me, I think defenses and certain kickers are good trade value right now because they're playing so well. There's a lot of these offensive positions that are not playing so well. Like, can you really trust anybody in the Miami offense right now other than Devon Achane? Because he'll get the dink and dunks. Like Tyreek Hill, like Jalen Waddle is nearly invisible right now, and Tyreek Hill is relevant because he can turn 4 yards into 44. But that's because they can game plan for that because there's no Tua. Like, they know where they want the ball to go. Like, defenses are doing that. Like, I need us to just open up our brains to the possibility that it's not just offensive struggles out here in these streets. Like, defenses are doing work. Like, they game planning, they putting stuff together. Like, it's okay if your fantasy player has 10 points. Like, if you're projected to score 20 and you only score 14 because 2 passes that was thrown to your receiver got intercepted by that defense because they game plan for that. Like, it's okay. Fantasy is a luck of the draw sport for the most part. Like, you can kind of call it, but most of the time you can't. Like, How many of you thought that A.J. Brown was going to be out for 2 weeks? Y'all drafted McCaffrey like he was going to be the number one player in fantasy this year. He hasn't even touched the field yet. Like, I'm not saying I told you so. I'm saying you can't call it. So, like, and instances like people getting hurt maybe makes it easier schematically for defenses, but it's a few defenses out here scoring multiple double-digit fantasy weeks already. And the reason that the defense thing is a rant is because I was able to pick up the Bills' defense, release them, let them clear waivers, and pick them up again against a terrible Jaguars team, and nobody even batted. And I don't know if they batted or not, but I know they saw it when the transaction hit because everybody gets that update. So, defenses, people, respect your defenses. Strategize with these defenses because there's a lot of defenses that are sitting out there that are really, really good this year. So you heard it here first. When defense start winning championships in fantasy again, I can't say that I didn't rant about it. So yeah, I'm gonna jump down off this podium now. One more thing, the Savvy League, real fast. I just want you guys to know that I scored 92 points. I'm gonna pull up the scoreboard and put it up there for you guys. I just want you to know I scored 92 points, and I lost. Right? This is the type of year we're having. No DeMar 3, 76 points. That's a win. Amateur Hours, 78 points. That's a win. Jersey Kid, 89.8 points. That's a win. Like, my matchup is the points leader for the week. There was 2 more people who scored over 100, but everybody else outside of me was under 90. So that's 8 teams in the league scored under 90. I was telling one of the participants in this league, I said, it's hard to score 100 points in my league. And if defenses are doing what defenses are doing, y'all not starting these defenses. So you're not getting the points. The points are on your bench. And you're looking down there like, dang, hey, Minnesota defense got me 17 points. And they just sitting down there because they're not the Jets, because that's what we're known for. Or they're not the Bills is what's got me stuck on this. I can't believe that they were just out there. You know? But, you know, I might rant about that later on in the year, in a month, and I'm like, see what these defenses have been doing? But, whatever. But yeah, low-scoring offenses equals high-scoring defenses. Y'all got to remember that. You get points for, you know, a team scoring only 14 points or only getting between 200 and 300 yards. Like, that stuff matters. Those points add up. So, it's fantasy. You're out here to score points. Remember, you're out here to score points. And I already know what next week's rant's going to be. It's about points and how they should matter more or how they should matter less. But let me go ahead and jump on off this thing. These videos are going to get longer as I get these segments rolling. So, once again, we back. I love you all. It is we are wrapped up and into the season. Wrapped up week 3. Week 4 is on the way. Good luck to you all, except my opponents. I can't not say it because that's the competitor in me. So we got to deal with that. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place. I love y'all. Peace.